Hey, I'm Tyson, and a little bit about my testimony is I grew up in church. Um, Always growing up, knew the Sunday school answers, pastor's kid, um, so could rattle things off, like knew the questions to every answer. Knew the books of the Bible, knew the stories of the Bible, knew who people were, all that kind of stuff. So I would like to think that I thought that I was a Christian, but when you began to look at my actions and the way that I lived my life behind closed doors, and probably even in some public settings like at school, different sports teams, whatever, I talked the talk, but I didn't walk the walk. Looking back now, I know that I never really gave Jesus authority over my life. I just like the idea of him being almost like a mascot, because again, I like the idea of it. And so I never really had that, in Matthew it talks about building your house on the rock. I did not have that. I did not have a solid foundation. So going into high school, obviously not having my house built on the rock, I was seeing new stuff, different temptation, being tempted with things that I didn't see in middle school, whatever. And so I don't. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do, but I wanted to fit in, and I didn't have an objective truth that was like, man, this is why you don't do this. It was always because I've been told, um, and so I did not have um, a strong faith, and did not have my house built on the rock. So when the temptation came, when the storms came, it came tumbling down, and I fell into a bunch of stuff. And thankfully, I got caught doing whatever, something stupid. Dad caught me, and he punished me by going to this gym that runs Thursday night, almost like a little student ministry. They do Bible study, and I met this dude named Gavin, and he just kind of loved on me. And I think for the first time I saw Jesus outside of the church, and I finally was able to grasp that this wasn't something that people just kind of did on a Sunday morning. That people do, but the purpose behind it is not just showing up because you have to. That there really is a relationship with Jesus that kind of rules over your life. And so I saw that for the first time, and it was honestly weird. And obviously, like, I was just kind of captivated by it, but almost weirded out. And just the way that this dude talked to me, and the way that this dude loved me, and the way that he cared. There's just something different about him. He was on fire for the Lord, and whatever that was kind of just caught my eye. And I remember we were going through Romans in the Bible study, and I think the third or fourth weekend we were going through Romans 12, chapter 12, and in verse 2 it says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that testing you may discern what is the will of God." And I think I finally grasped inside of my head that, going off of Romans 12, 1 and 2, it talks about presenting your body as a living sacrifice. And I, again, finally grasped the idea that it wasn't something that you just had to do, that relationship with Jesus was a real thing. It wasn't just knowing about him, but it was knowing him and being known by him. And so I made a decision my freshman year of high school, September 2019, around then. And it definitely has not been all good since then. I fell into different stuff, still make mistakes, still mess up. But the Holy Spirit has drawn me back every time, and has honestly used the things to kind of refine my character. And so I'm sitting here tonight applying for the residency, which is something I would have never thought that I would have done. But yeah, that's my testimony. How am I serving the church currently right now? I am currently serving at our Robertsdale campus. I am helping with setup teardown. I work facilities. I don't really think that would count as serving because I'm getting paid, but working facilities, whatever. But Sunday mornings, Robertsdale setup teardown. I'm helping with that. Also trying to use the teardown team to recruit some kids from Robertsdale to help with teardown, but also use it as a ministry opportunity to pour into them. So I would say that that's like the biggest thing that I'm doing right now, serving wise, is Robertsdale on Sunday mornings. What do I want to do after I graduate? After I graduate, I am a freshman in my second semester after I graduate, I would love to work full-time inside of a student ministry, whether that is being a student pastor, whether that is being a student director, or like assistant, or like whatever it is. I would love to work inside of a student ministry and eventually become a student pastor. That would probably be the biggest one sitting here right now. What am I hoping to learn from the residency? I'm hoping to be put inside of, and this is what I'm most excited for, is I know that there are things that you can only learn when you're in the position. Like some things can be taught that you don't even necessarily have to be like, you don't have to go and do it. Like you can just be taught it. But I think that there are things that you have to go and do and experience to be taught. So I'm excited to be put inside of situations where I'm going to be able to learn, and it's going to help me in the future when I do step into a student ministry or whatever, because I've had the opportunity to serve and to intern in student ministries and kind of just like get a peek behind like behind the scenes, and it really is crazy everything that goes into it. It's way more than you would expect with the small group leaders and all the events that you plan out, and being involved inside of the schools, and like First Priority, and for First Priority, and just all of the different things, and then being connected with the parents as well as the students, and like setting up lobby, and there's just so many different parts that go into that, and I'm excited to be put inside of different situations to where I can learn kind of what the system looks like, what it looks like to build a relationship with parents, what it looks like. Honestly, I think I'm most excited for the schools, what it looks like to be involved and to serve and to reach the school systems that are local. How do I believe I will benefit the residency? I believe that I believe that I am disciplined and zealous about definitely not everything, but I about student ministry specifically. I think that God has kind of placed a switch inside of me, and something about Wednesday nights or student ministry that switch gets flipped on, and I become an extrovert. And so I think that just the passion and just the love for having an opportunity to stir up the love of Jesus inside of students, and see students who were struggling with similar things that I was, and just like being able to disciple and walk alongside them, and see that, and just like see the change and all of that different stuff, I think is incredible. And so I think that my passion and my zeal for student ministry specifically would benefit greatly. And I think that I'm pretty good about just doing whatever needs to be done. So whatever it is, like, I don't like complaining. It's like whatever it is, whether it's, set up, tear down, or whether it's connecting with a student, or, connecting with a parent or a small group leader, or whatever it is, like, I'm honestly stoked would be stoked and have been stoked to just be there and be a part of things. And so I think that is what I would contribute most to the residency. What does a call to vocational ministry look like to me, in my perspective? I think that I know that, and for me inside of my life, the way that I've experienced it is the way that I've experienced Jesus change my heart, and just the way that I've been wrecked by him. I think that he's instilled different, like, he's changed my heart in a way to where I have different desires now, and that's for every Christian. But I think that there are some talents and some giftings and some desires that God has placed inside of me through transformation of the Holy Spirit that allows me to pursue student ministry. And I think that the calling on that is stepping into student ministry and just feeling the empathy and the compassion for students. I can't even explain how, like, obviously student ministry is crazy fun. Like, I just love being there. First off, it's crazy. Kids are funny. I like just hanging out. But like, on the serious note, I think that it is extremely cool to have a chance to stir up the love of Jesus inside of the community, especially in the younger generation. I think that the younger generation is extremely undervalued and overlooked. And I just think that there is freedom inside of high school, and I don't think a lot of people believe that, and I don't think a lot of students believe that. And so, just like, having the way that I feel about that now, like that's what I feel like a call to student ministry is. And I believe in my life, because I'm passionate about people. It's not just about student ministry. There is something special about it, but it is for people. And I just think that that's the calling, that having that compassion and having that like that gut feeling almost of when you see somebody that is broken and that was almost looked like you 4 years ago or whatever it is, there's just a tug on your heart. And I've consistently felt that the past probably year and a half. God has just absolutely wrecked me in a way that he's changed me in every way imaginable, spiritually, emotionally, like whatever. And he's just placed those things inside of my heart. And I believe that it's because he's calling me to step up and to potentially and hopefully lead the younger generation, lead students in the future. And so I'm just really excited about learning about that. A little bit of that was rambling, but that's because I am just, it's hard to put it into words, the feeling that you feel, when you sit there and you get to experience that, you get to feel that. It's a really cool thing, and I'm just excited about the opportunity, and yeah, I appreciate it.